things to say. So this is a fan you're blowing out, and they can put this over it. Just watch it. Looks like Dupuy, you get a good shot of me? Okay. You coming out?
That's why he was laughing. Because I didn't see you. Then I was like, wait, Sarah was like... Today is expected to be the day that Cassie actually testifies. Whew, I'm up, I'm live. Listen, today's the day that Cassie's supposed to be testifying. She was supposed to be testifying yesterday, but the security guard, there was a security guard and then there was a SMEX worker that actually testified. The SMEX worker actually, well, you guys know his testimony ran till 5. So it's expected that they might finish up with him today on cross and redirect, okay? He's already been questioned one time by the prosecution, one time by the defense, okay? After that, Cassie is expected to be. How do we know that she was expected to be here yesterday? So in the courtroom I was in, Alex Fine, her husband, was in the back, okay? He had a bodyguard. He looked not upset, but just angry, like he was ready for war. Oddly enough, there were a lot of Diddy supporters around. Somebody was sitting next to me in a Sean John tracksuit, and I said, maybe Kanye West had something when he was telling everybody that that he was making Sean John tank tops, right? Other people were shouting love, love, love. Diddy had a lot of supporters that people said that they went to school with him. They knew when he was younger. They think he's a good guy. He doesn't need to. I was actually really, really shocked and appalled, if I can tell you guys the truth. What else can I tell you guys? There was also yesterday with the SMEX worker, so many crazy things came out. One, that Diddy was in complete control. Now they are saying that there's going to be a lot of people that Diddy's going to have saying that Cassie was the one that texted the men. Cassie was the one that paid the men. Cassie was the one that did all that stuff. However, what they're trying to say is it really had nothing to actually do with Cassie. What they're trying to say is that even though it looked like Cassie was the one that was doing everything, Diddy was actually the one, okay? Diddy was actually the one that told them what to do, told her what to say, told her how to touch, told her where to sit, literally, told her what to wear, okay? If you guys don't remember the SMEX worker yesterday, now one of the most shocking things from yesterday was that Diddy actually had his children, and again, those boys are grown men. He had his adult sons, but he also had his daughters sitting there listening to the security guard when they were talking about the way that he attacked Cassie, okay? Now, after that, that's when things got a little weird. That's when they were like, yo, right? That's when things got a little weird, and they were like, yo, in the middle of the sex worker coming up, that's when it got weird, and they actually had Diddy. The girls kept getting up, leaving, and then coming back in. Again, it shows a little bit of a psychology. How the hell, and I mean that literally, how the hell is it okay for you to hear about you abusing the person you're with, right? But at the end of the day, now y'all are upset. Oh, sorry. But now y'all are upset and you're leaving. So you're fine to hear about the physical abuse. But when you hear about like hiring the SMEX workers and what your dad was into, now all of a sudden you get up and leave. Now again, I understand that they're young girls. I would even say, why did they even have them in? But you got to think, did he always have them on the yachts? You know, half of the things that happened on the yachts out in Saint Tropez, Diddy actually had them on the yachts with them. So where was all this stuff happening? It seems like because he was father of the year and he kept his kids around him so much that they actually were privy to a lot of stuff that was actually going on.
Hey, Misa, don't worry, it's gonna get better soon, okay?
You all right? Be careful, Lisa.
Lisa, that was upsetting testimony today. Do you have anything to say about Cassie's testimony? What was your
Careful,
reaction?
Lisa. Hang in there, Lisa. I'm gonna shoot with my iPad tomorrow. The way to get some.
Et ça. Mais voilà. La la news spot, voilà, t'as claimé ton spot, c'est nul. Mais c'est
I need to say something.
Okay.
The cantaloupe. They got a knock on it lately.
Yeah, totally. Done. I also do that.
This I couldn't get out.
Yo, bro, got a huge flood planned for later. Total flood party.
Sick.
I already called Echo Energy about you both.
Bro.
And experts on their way over.
Yeah, what that would do.
Oh, that's not even going to help me much.
Stargazer, Stargaze by Nemo, anyone else? REI carries them. They're not cheap. $270. It's one of the best pieces of gear I own. I mean, I'm out here for hours and days every year. And to be comfortable and be able, you know, it's so worth it. I didn't know that. I feel myself getting stupider each day I stay here. No. Really, your boyfriend's back. He's not going to want to be out somebody. Oh, today's our day. You got your turn. The marshal, so they haven't said no? Okay. That is something. That is for sure. Like, that makes me want to just put soda on my roof. That would be huge. many. Thanks. An inch of rain is a foot of snow. To put it in perspective. All the ones on the building side are not covered. I see. I see four that aren't.
Zero sugar and zero carbs. Meet natural flavor. Neutral. Refreshingly simple.
You're gonna go ride it in the rain. You need to not ride it in the rain. You're not gonna ruin it. Like, listen to me. Hear what I'm saying? You're gonna take these out in the rain. Sydney. I'm sitting out in the rain right now. I can see the streets. I'm on them. They're wet. Water is going to get into those bearings and rust them.
Budweiser presents another real excuse from a bud who bailed on hockey. Gotta write a long email, said Brad. Brad, buds make time for hockey, not excuses. Submitted by Jonathan R.
I have my stool, please?
I was looking for
I'm not here to be on your feed. Don't ask me questions. Because they don't understand how, like, there was, I had to take it down the stairs yesterday. Right there in the middle of the day. Himself. Yeah, then the marshals are watching it on the cameras when they come across the street. It's like they're displaying press. I am. I'm working with Ed Freeland. I am the photographer liaison for my PPA. So it's got to be easier. But you can't use because they have legitimate, but if they're not going to be utilized, if they're not used, that's different from, your Facebook. So, they don't. They say ridiculous things. Conspiracy theorists, like they just. They won't be police officer or they'll be visible. So we are making. And again, it's not our goal to try to find business. They have different goals. Yeah, exactly. An influencer is only a person who has a certain amount of followers that advertisers feel they can influence people to buy their Complete opposite. Yoko. think this is the husband. They got him. This one.
Running in my heels.
Well, right now I had it kind of here. This is where I got it. Right there. Good, Eric? All right. Bro. All right, then. Cool. Then
We just flew in from Colorado. And we're staying in a hotel. We're like, there's that.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What, are you with the news station? Wow, French news agency.
It was a while ago.
It might have been. It was a while ago.
Excuse me, sir. Brother, excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Watch your back, ma'am. Please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Wait. Get off the way. Get all the way out. I'm sorry.
It's okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, who do you expect, guys? Yeah. Who do we expect? Excuse me, sir.
Feel me? We need to know. We need that number. We need to make that number. Yeah, we're coming over there. You already know we live with Diddy Trial. We live with SS and OTV. We outside on go like me. My name's Bruno on go or OTA on go. And I'm outside live with Trial. I've been inside the courtroom. Cassie crying. They talk about 10 bottles of radio per session. They talk about inflatable pools in the room full with radio and actual time. Listen, everybody make sure y'all subscribe to us. Okay? We're going to be in the courtroom live. We're going to be here getting this information and these tidbits. Trust me, this is where you get this information from. Make sure you subscribe to SSA Code. Updating you on anything I need from me in the courtroom. Trust me, subscribe to SSA Code. Buddha, we're going to go, y'all. No. That's yours, keep it. It's for you. Yo, video, where the thing at? Yo, mama. Yo, Black Rock, listen for you, bro. You make it back to see.
Didn't really exhibit the control that they're describing, but I think there's going to be more text messages to come that we're going to be seeing. But the one that they played on the screen, Cassie had emailed him. I'm trying to find it in my notes. Maybe if you guys want to chat amongst yourself while I can find this information.
Okay, yeah, while you look, let's start the recap. So Kim's put together a lot of the best of today as we were watching. So we're going to go through it sort of chronologically for those watching. This may get trimmed, I don't know. We tried to, but our goal is to give you an hour of a recap every night, so that way you have something more to digest. So stay tuned. But yes, before the jury entered, there were concerns about finding out that Cassie was pregnant, as we discussed. And the attorney argued the testimony is not a replacement for the videos and the press. Need to see if there's coercion. CNN reported the judge was inclined to grant media requests to make these new videos public, but wanted to wait. So there's new tapes that we may see, but there are obviously objections and things that need to be censored, etc. So we will know later if there is more to show. After some debate, the judge allowed texts between Diddy and Cassie that referenced a bar fight, and then Cassie was expected to take the stand. But first, we wrapped up with David Phillip. Kim, I mean, anything really to say there as we wrapped up with him, the dancer or the exotic escort?
I think one of the things I kept seeing was it seemed that they were really trying to nail down what relationship the two of them had, whether or not it was a friendship, whether or not it was romantic, what exactly was going on here. And there was a lot of back and forth from what we read. I'd be interested to hear Emily's take on this, of what was really going on. But I was seeing a lot of reporting of, like, they would ask him a question. He would basically be like, that's dumb, or that's incorrect. I didn't do, no, and just shut it down. Is that accurate, or what else am I missing?
Yeah, I would say he was really bold up on that stand. He wasn't embarrassed to say anything. He seemed like he was being honest. But what I noticed was the defense attorney was fumbling yesterday, but then this morning, everyone in the courtroom said Donaldson really did a tremendous job, because at the very end of the cross-examination, he pulled up a text message where it was between the escort and Cassie, and he says, so you told them both that you love them, and that was after the assault? And then there was like this pause in the room, and then he goes, no further questions, and it was like a mic drop moment. So he was trying to catch him in a lie by trying to say what you said, that you could not, I'm trying to use a code word here, you could not engage in the sex after you saw him physically abuse her because of what you saw. So now in this text message, you're telling her that you're in love with not just Cassie, but also Sean Combs. And his reply was, so the prosecution then, after that mic drop, the prosecution gets back up and they say, well, why did you say that? And he said, well, it's because Cassie was ghosting me. She wasn't actually answering any of my texts. So I thought, if I pretended that I also loved Sean Combs, and maybe she would actually reply to me. So that was his answer to that. They also are really trying to make the escort admit that Cassie Ventura was not seeming under the influence of drugs. They asked him many times, was she high? Was she drunk? And oftentimes he answered that she didn't seem to be. So I think they're trying to paint her as a willing participant that was sober, despite her testimony revealing that Sean Combs made her take many, many drugs. And we got into the many drugs that he would make her take today.
Yikes.
Yeah. So once David Phillip was done, we moved on to a quick break, and I did just want to touch on this because I noticed it wasn't being as reported as I think it should have been. And it's that Diddy's team was very concerned about Cassie's husband. They didn't want him in the room when she was testifying about certain things, and also because allegedly he sent Diddy a threatening text message after Cassie's lawsuit was filed. So they are thinking they may call him up as a witness, so they don't want certain things, like him to be influenced by certain things.
Oh, I see. That's
what ended up happening.
Got it.
Yeah.
He was in the courtroom. He was in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know fully. I saw some mixed things that he wasn't allowed at certain points. I don't know. But yeah, we may be seeing some text messages from Alex to Diddy.
Everything you're saying, Kim, I heard while I was lining up this morning. There was some rule that he was not going to be allowed in the courtroom from a certain period of time to another period of time. But then when I was in the courtroom this afternoon, Alex was sitting two rows behind the sketch artist on the right in a black jacket, and he was very present. I don't know if he was there the whole time though, because I ended up bouncing from the courtroom because I was hungry and wanted pretzels and a Diet Coke, so then I had it to
Can't blame you.
overflow. So
tough
he
enough.
was there for at least, and I would say he was there for 2 hours that I witnessed in the afternoon.
Interesting. Okay, so then after that, Cassie gets in. Sean appeared nervous as he went to the holding area for the break before Cassie's testimony, adjusted his clothing and glanced over at one of his sons. The rest of his family had left the room already. He usually had a big smile, but this time he appeared stoic. So there it was. We did see that. Faced.
Yeah.
Say again, Kim?
A decade, because they
Decade,
were
sorry,
together
yes,
for just
decade,
over 10
decade.
years. I kept seeing people saying decades today, and I'm like, that's not accurate. She's not
You know why? It's because the prosecution started the case by saying that Sean Combs has been running a criminal operation for 20 years. So I think they're just trying to say that now, decades long.
Well, she started when she was 21. He was 37, right, Kim?
Yes. They said yesterday they met when she was 19 and he was 17 years older.
Yes, but they started their first intimate relation situation started happening when she was 21. So she stay with me.
Man, all of these YouTubers are very basic with this Diddy coverage. It's funny when Jag was on yesterday talking to them, and some of the stuff was just going right over their heads with all of this. She was like, read between the lines, and they were like, I don't get it. Gonna hear what Tisa has to say because she knows what's up. She gets it.
Security people. Now here's the thing. They showed a picture of D-Rock on the screen, okay? Now, don't know I was in the trial. This is all coverage, but I believe that there was a bombshell that was just dropped off about that.
Cassie
What
says
is
Diddy
the
and
actual
Biggie
bombshell?
BFF
Y'all,
D-Rock tried to murk
y'all,
Suge Knight.
D-Rock was Biggie's best friend. As a matter of fact, people that are conspiracy theorists say that Biggie would have never gone out if D-Rock hadn't pushed the issue. There's a little beef behind that. However, if this is the same D-Rock and the picture looks like the same D-Rock based upon information and belief, it actually looks like that Cassie testified that Diddy and D-Rock literally scooted up and rolled out on Suge Knight, and they looked like they was gonna try to murk that man. They said they were dressed in all black. They said that they had the little collars on. They said they probably had some dark Air Force One energy on there too, right? Liberia Rose, hey, what's up, Liberia? How are you doing? But in any case, this is what
This is the coverage we need.
I have my notes. I'm gonna pull them out. You know we are
None
right
of this
at 500
basic,
Pearl Street.
like
doing the thing. Here's the fit. Yes, I'm on. Y'all
None of
can't
this
see it, but I'm on my
basic stuff.
legal eagle. Whatnot, trying to keep it
running a
professional.
criminal enterprise for the
But
past 20
y'all,
years?
who is D-Rock? You
wake
guys
up.
might add. All right, let's get into this. D-Rock, whose real name is Damian Butler, that is Diddy's security, was a close friend and confidant of the notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace. Their friendship began in their childhood home in Brooklyn and evolved over time. D-Rock is known for taking a bang-bang charge on Biggie's behalf, which led him to serving time in prison. After his release, D-Rock became Biggie's personal assistant and managed his career until his passing. Again, there's a little controversy. We're not saying that hey, Tracy Andrews, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. We're not saying that D-Rock did anything, but I do know that if you go on Twitter, oh my God, wait. I almost forgot to lead with the biggest thing. I'm going to do a story about this later. Do you know that Cassie testified that during the freak-offs, again, you can't tell me this ain't childhood trauma. I'm looking at Janice Combs like, what happened in that house? Listen to what Diddy was into.
Yep. Let's talk about the childhood trauma. Let's get into it. Janice Combs, yep.
On Cassie's stomach or inside her tunnel of love. And then Diddy would demand that Cassie go into the room next door. And when Cassie went into the room next door, he would make Cassie rub that juice, right? He would make Cassie rub that juice on his nipples and his chest. Diddy like Cassie to take the male sex workers pudding. I'm trying not to get demonetized, but it's probably a long while. Take the pudding and rub it on his chest and his tatas. Melvina Cook, thank you so much for the super chat. And Hibiscus Rose, thank you so much for the super chat. On top of that, the judge made a ruling. I'm going to get back to the D-Rock story about the Biggie stuff, but I just got out of court, so much news to tell y'all. On top of that, the judge made a ruling about the press. The judge made a ruling about the press. If you guys don't know, the press had their own lawyers coming in and said, listen, this is the public interest. We need to know everything. Thank you, Ebony, for the super chat. And we need to find out everything. You guys, thank you so much for super chatting. Listen, this is my love letter to you guys. I used my own money and my own time to fly out and cover this trial. Again, I might not have celebrations at 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 subbies, but baby, I do be writing y'all love letters. Because when you ask for something, I'll go out of my way to do it. Anyway, the judge made a ruling. I'm telling y'all the breaking news before we get back into the Biggie Tupac stuff that Cassie testified on, all right? So D-Rock, so the judge literally ruled on it because apparently May, who is victim number 2, Cassie, who's victim number 1, and the prosecutors are like, no, I don't care who needs to see it. CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, I don't care who needs to see it because those materials were meant for blackmail materials. They were meant to hurt. They were meant to humiliate. They were. Sharina Wilson, thank you so much. You said amazing coverage, Tisa. Keep up the good work.
This
Be
is
sure to
full
get rest.
on blackmail.
I am gonna get some
this
rest
isn't just
later on. Y'all know when I'm on the grind, I'm on the grind. Anyway,
people
right?
having fun. People
also
doing weird
Egyptian
things.
deity. Thank you so
Definitely
much for the super chat. Y'all blessing me and showing me love. Buying me dinner tonight. Thank y'all.
It's not just a domestic dispute
and Miss E.T.,
between two
thank you so
people
much
in
for the
love.
super chat. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to read the
BS.
questions in a second. Damn, my opinion. Thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all blessing me. I'm going to read some questions from the chat in a second, but let me just get through this, right? I mean, keep sending super chats, but let me get through this. So the judge was like, listen, I thought about it, and usually there is a First Amendment right. However, there's a lot of case law that when it is, hey, my God, Celtic Moon, thank you so much for the super chat. Leloon 012. Oh my God, Basilwood and Park. Thank you so much. Miss Texas Cannon. Thank you so much for the for the cash app. Leloony 012. Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you. She says thank you for the amazing work. And my Michelle. What's going on with Shannon Sharp? I know he's so happy the Diddy Trial started. My Michelle. Thank you so much for the super chat. Listen, okay, thank you, Dream86. Now, the judge actually ruled on whether anybody can show the tapes, okay? There were freak-all tapes. The press was like, we need to see it because it's the First Amendment right. This was not the strongest day for the prosecution. Sarah Jefferson, thank you so much for the super chat. And this is your first super chat you sent on a live stream. Let's celebrate that. So the judge was like, Cassie, victim number 1 and victim number 2, May, were like, that's her alias, was like, no. Like, this was meant to blackmail us and humiliate us. And if you these are blackmail materials. And if we literally let you use it, then what was the point of going to trial? Because our worst nightmare actually happened. The judge saw about it and said, listen, there's a lot of case law when it comes to the First Amendment stuff. I was inclined to do it, but being as both these were blackmail materials, we're not using it. So the judge ruled that the freak-all tapes will not be shown in the gallery, so we won't be able to see it. And he doesn't even think he's even letting news organizations see it, because he's literally like, These aren't just regular public service
This is
tapes. These
probably
are tapes meant to humiliate,
smart.
meant to blackmail, meant to do everything wrong.
But
okay?
the public
Let me get
does
here
need
so I
to
look
know
more
how deep
dun,
this
dun,
goes,
dun,
so
dun,
it better
dun,
not be to
dun.
protect
Special
that.
victims
It better
unit.
not be to
Oh,
protect
Clover
other
and,
people who are involved
84
in this,
Mitchell,
because a
keep
lot of
up the
people
good
are
work. Thank you,
involved.
Clover. Rah, rah,
It better
rah.
be just
Herrera
because we're
said,
trying to do
stay out
this
there, stay safe out there,
properly and
you
ethically.
lab. Great job like always. Also, oh, thank you so much. You said thank you, Teaser, for the terrific reporting. Where's your thumbnail? For the terrific reporting, you're so beautiful. Girl, you better stop. But thank you. Tracy said, how's the jury reacting to
I
Cassie?
agree.
I'll tell you
Great
honestly.
reporting, Tisa. Great reporting.
Could possibly use in their argument
That's a
that
good point.
Cassie wasn't just a girlfriend, she was signed to a label, so she had to look hot. Like, they made Beyonce always look a certain way.
They made Beyonce look a certain
stars
way.
have to look a certain way for
Let's
Britney
dive
Spears.
into
So I feel like
Beyonce.
they might use that in
Britney
defense.
Spears. Let's
Do I
dive
think
into
it's
Britney
right?
Spears.
No. And do I think he displays psychotic behavior throughout? Yes, but I just feel like they're gonna say,
See what I mean?
well,
These
she
guys
was
are
signed to him, but then I think prosecution will
Still
then
just
argue,
kinda
but he wasn't acting like a music
basic.
manager.
No, she wasn't putting out music. She wasn't
Right.
doing any of that stuff. She was a girlfriend. That
He
was her
prevented
job.
her, and that's
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. He's one of the main lawyers. Okay, lawyers have left.
The lawyers are coming out.
Wouldn't be able to see that video. The only people that will see the video is going to be the jurors. Now the funny thing is, I thought about it, right? I feel like Mark Agnafilio, Yana tried to finesse, because Mark Agnafilio, they've been pushing for this tape to be seen, because their whole thing is Cassie enjoyed herself. What's the problem, right?
Cassie did not
and then
enjoy
Mark
herself. Come
Agnafilio
on.
stood up in court and was like, I mean, what are they going to do with it?
It's
As if y'all
actually
haven't been
insane that
pushing
they're
this the
going
whole
with this
time.
defense.
'Cause
It's
he
so
almost got me with the
2000s.
finesse, but when I was sitting in court, I was like, wait a second.
We were in
Y'all
love
been the
and
ones
things
pushing.
just went
The people had
sideways
to
one
see the
night.
freak off tapes because Cassie enjoyed herself. Now when it's time to see the freak off tapes, y'all in court.
Cassie likes it.
What's the
It's
New
like,
York
please.
Post gonna do with it, Your Honor? I don't know. Nice try, Mark Agnafilio, baby. You can finesse everybody except for me and your barber, because Mark's hair looks a mess. He looks like Chicken Little. I don't know what he is doing. He needs to literally, I don't know if he's using Garnier for Treese or Suave or maybe Paul Mitchell. Whatever you are using, you need to go back to the last round of products. Anyway, Sugar Spice 313, thank you so much for the super chat. Fly Girl 5172, Tisa, you're amazing, beautiful, inside and out. Oh, thank you guys. Kim Williams said, keep doing your thing, Tisa, and stay safe. I will. Thank you.
really moved the room with that statement.
Yeah, it sounds like she's really bearing it all and not being afraid and putting it all out there, which is the way to do it always.
Agreed.
And
He's not holding back.
The
yeah,
way
and
to
she's
do it
acknowledging,
always.
yeah, well, of course we were in love. I mean, she has to explain that. But that's where it gets complicated, because some will use it as an excuse. Well, you asked for it. You wanted all this, etc. And that's what's so frustrating. People don't understand these toxic and power dynamics that can really adjust. Let's get a little bit deeper on the list, and then we'll come back. So Cassie recalled how basically says her career, he could shut down her career if he ever needed to. That's something we really need to reiterate over and over again, because that's the control, right? She described Combs as punitive behavior, including taking away her
Yeah,
possessions
he groomed her when
as
she
a
was
means of
19,
control,
like-
which significantly impacted her self-worth. She recalled how Combs would lash out by taking away her electronics, cars, other possessions as a form of punishment. He would take the car away, the house jewelry, the physical things didn't matter. I just wanted his approval. She also expressed that she agreed to the freak-offs because she wanted to make him happy. She also expressed not wanting him to think that she thought badly of him and did not want to upset him. At one point, she became very emotional, grabbed the tissue. She was answering, when we had one-on-one time, when you care about somebody and love them, you don't want to disappoint them. She said she was worried if she declined to participate, Combs would become angry. His eyes would go black, she said, describing the episodes of Rage. The version of him I was in love with was no longer there. That's a key point, right? So I think all this is so telling, revealing, yeah, I got involved in some of this stuff because I wanted to please him. I wanted to make him happy. But he became someone that I realized wasn't the same person I loved. This wasn't healthy.
Yeah. So describing basically the same things that Kim Porter did. He was cool until he turned into a sociopath.
Also, Chantel Renee said, "Hey, beautiful, we love you. Do you think he'll be getting off or doing time?" I think he's gonna listen. It was one small bad day. I still think he's gonna go because even though it was boring, they established that he was in complete control of everything. Tonya Stroman said, thanks forever with the great tea. Thank you so much, Tonya. Yeah, I said Teasa's the hottest reporter there. Y'all gonna stop hyping me up. The real Empress said, I'm happy for you. Now, where's your security? Don't worry, Mama, I'm safe. Please. Please. I'm safe. Anyway, y'all, we ain't worrying about that. Ain't got no problem. Like what? Please, we are Kuna Matata over here. Thank you, Tisa, for your work. Thank you, Matrix Golf. Okay, yeah, Cassie admitted that Diddy liked that. Somebody called Janice Combs to the witness stand.
Yes, someone called Janice Combs to the witness stand.
In my head, I was like, Your Honor, I would like to
somebody arrest her.
Janice Combs and her Marilyn Monroe Lola Falana wig. I want her to cut.
Her stupid glasses.
Really I will say, she raised a demon, but she is a very good-looking woman. And y'all be dragging her wigs. I think
she raised a demon because she is one.
Beverly Ann, how y'all doing? I really do. But anyway, aside from that, right, Janice Combs, if you don't get your butt to the witness stand, what is going on with your son? Listen, this one guy had nothing to do about his preference at all. It doesn't. Because I don't care if he's gay. Like, who cares? Like, that to me is, maybe it's 2025. Get
right.
something real to
2025. And they're using defense from
but
2000.
For some reason, the way she described it, it's like, this is like, not trauma, but there's something associated with this. This isn't just something you woke up and said, yeah, put it on my chest. And why would you want another man's that was rubbed on you afterwards? Yo,
it's because they're doing voodoo.
Into some wild stuff, and the whole time Cassie was like, it was humiliating.
Not actual voodoo.
I hated it. I hated his touch. I hate the way you walk.
A distorted version that they created.
It was a mess. Okay.
And decided to exploit.
So then, the Biggie stuff, right? So let's get back into it, right? Cassie identified D-Rock as Diddy's security. All right, I believe that. Thank you, Beverly Ann, for the super chat. I believe this is the same D-Rock. All right. Did I say thank you, Pamela Fine, for becoming a member? If I didn't, thank you very much, Miss Fine. I appreciate you. So they were talking about. Oh, also Chantel Renee said, "I'm only following you in this story. He needs time. I think he is going to get time, but y'all know how it is. Thank y'all so much." Faronia Corp said, "Love your coverage of the Diddy debacle. The fact that you flew out is a testament to your greatness. It's not a testament to my greatness. It's a testament to how much I love y'all. Y'all be dragging me. You was calling me fatty. Y'all said I was pregnant when I literally was eating donuts, reading the pregnancy comment like, y'all ruining my little ice cream night. Y'all was ruining my ice cream nights." But it's a testament to how much I love. And he was Biggie's personal assistant and managed his career until death. Also, there's a little controversy in the hip hop scene that people feel like D-Rock might have helped set Biggie up because Biggie ain't want to go out that night, and D-Rock made him go. I think because he was his manager or something. Winona, Black TV said, "Thank you, Tisa, hardest woman in these YouTube strips. We love you. Thank y'all so much." They said D-Rock's role in Biggie's life extended beyond personal support. He also managed Little Kim and Junior Mafia's careers, showcasing his loyalty and ability to navigate the music industry.
Junior Mafia.
Additionally, D-Rock is credited with capturing extensive behind-the-scenes footage of Biggie, offering an intimate look at his life and personality. There's a video on YouTube that delves into the details of their friendship and how it was more than just a typical collaboration. Anyway, there's also a little bit more moves. For years, Damian D-Rock Butler has hinted at the hours of home video footage he recorded of his best friend Biggie. Butler famously took a gun charge for Biggie and served time in prison in the early 90s. Okay, now get this. He is head of Diddy's security. And
remember when Shine did prison time for Diddy?
Conspirators. Also, what's up, Joanne Rodriguez?
Remember that?
Thank you for the super chat. Renee said, love you back, Tisa. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you. Heart. Tanya Lewis said, did Cassie seem nervous and did she make contact with Diddy? We're gonna talk about that in a second, okay? Anyway, Cassie said that they were asking her about like what safe Diddy has. He was like, yo, Diddy has a safe in Alpine, New Jersey. Let me sit on these steps real quick. They said Diddy has a house and had guns with safes, and Cassie has the passcodes in Alpine, New Jersey, right? In Alpine, New Jersey, in his old house, in Miami, in LA, and in New York City. And they're like, how do you know? And she's like, because I got the pass keys. I got the passcodes, right? KDD said he went to all boys boarding school with white boys. Who knows what happened to him? Come on, we ain't going to drag the white boys into this. I don't think that's
an all boys school, and then he went off to Howard University with his single mother.
Right? We can't blame the soul. Nah, I don't think that's in the. I'm a white person.
Because his dad was
like getting man milk smeared on your chest.
His dad died when he was young.
Like, I don't think that's in the white boy handbook. I'm just saying. Anyway, right?
The government must have paid for that, I guess.
You look gorgeous. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate this. Y'all swear I was AI. I'm real life. Anyway, right? So anyway, getting back into this, because this is actually really interesting. So D-Rock was also head of Cassie's security. Diddy's security. And I believe D-Rock might be one of Diddy's co-conspirators because they said he sent D-Rock to go look for her when Cassie tried to escape.
Is Suge Knight going to take the witness stand?
To go get her back and hunt her down and bring her back. On top of that, D-Rock was involved in Cherokee Black Panther said, love for South Carolina. Great job. Thank you. So, thank you so much, Cherokee. So anyway, they said that like D-Rock was actually bringing back, co-conspirator, doing this thing. Okay. Okay. So I have to go to the plaza, but hold on. Don't hang up. I'm right here. Hold on, y'all. Finally got kicked out. It'd be your own people. It'd be your own people. How many security guards walk by me? FTF, DHS, Homeland Security, whatever you want to call it. The own people came and asked me to move. It's okay. I got respect for my elders. Okay, so we're sat, all right. So anyway, so what happened? So D-Rock. So D-Rock sounds like he's one of Diddy's. This sounds like one of Diddy's co-conspirators. So anyway, again, the Biggie stuff. Remember how Suge Knight is always Joanne Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, did I miss one? Okay, I'm good. I'm popped up. Okay, so anyway, right? So anyway, oh yeah, also hit that like button, please.
Okay, I'll hit it.
Y'all know I need it, right?
I'll like it.
So anyway,
Los Angeles or the Hustler store there, and then she described how the relationship.
There was guns in the safe because one night they were in the middle of a freak off, right? He left a freak off. He got a call when somebody told him in California, yo, Suge Knight is like down the hill at like the Waffle House or something, somewhere close. Diddy, and you know he don't like to miss a freak off. Diddy literally left a freak off to go and get Suge Knight. Now here's the thing. He saw him and D-Rock grab all the hammers in there. They said they were all handguns. Grab all of them, dress in all black, put the Scullies on, put the little baklavas, you know, the Dark Knight 3000, dressed in all black,
the Dark Knight 3000.
Put their hoods on their face, and rolled out in a black SUV and literally went to go handle whatever was going on with Suge Knight. Yeah, Diddy, and listen, maybe he didn't go to murk Suge Knight, maybe he just went to talk. But what are you doing talking to Suge Knight like that? And you know Suge Knight been said that Diddy been trying to be on top of his head. Mm-hmm. Somebody said, Tease, I have a suggestion. Call it duck butter. Even better, Kenneth, duck butter. There we go.
familiar with federal law and actually have tried cases in these courtrooms here at federal court. They say they have to prove for the trafficking, for the RICO part of it, they have to prove that there was coercion, that she was forced into doing this. Because one of the big questions that a lot of people had when we first started to learn details about this case was, if she was coerced, if she was forced, why did she stay with him for so long? And she said she was, she was actually in love with him, that when he was nice, he was charming, and of course he was also, at the time that she was with him, he was at the height of his career. Basically, I mean, he had the Sean John clothing line going. Revolt TV was starting.
Sean John
he was
clothing
hosting
line,
the
the height of
MTV
his career.
Video
Have you ever
Music
seen a
Awards.
single person
There were a
wearing
lot of
Sean
big things.
John?
He was getting Grammy nominations. There was
One
a lot
single
going on
person
for him
other than
career-wise.
Sean
He
Diddy
was being
Combs.
hugely successful, even a Broadway appearance.
'Cause I haven't.
And then, of course, running the New York City Marathon to
So,
raise money for
that's
education
something to
in
dive
under-resourced
into, too.
communities. So she was meeting,
His
she was
fake
involved with him at
clothing
this
company.
very prominent time in his life where a lot was going on and a lot of attention was on him, and it seemed as if he could do no wrong. Of course, now we found out that was an image, and now we're finding out more about what the reality is for her. Now, while she was on the stand, as I said, she's estimated to be like 8 or 8.5 months pregnant. She was rubbing her stomach, rubbing her belly the way pregnant women do, or they just touch their stomach when you just touch your stomach when you're pregnant, and just kind of like to feel that heartbeat or feel that movement of that baby that you're carrying. And so she was doing that a couple of times during the testimony. She reached for tissues because she was getting emotional. Tears were coming to her eye. At one point, she really did get choked up and had to stop for a moment or two. But the prosecutor kept on relentlessly. And then also, she was asked to describe her daily life. Her daily life was basically being all centered around Combs and around making him happy and doing whatever he wanted her to do so that he would not hit her, would not beat her up, or would not punish her. This was the term that she used, this word punishing. And that when he was upset with her, Combs or his bodyguards would take her phones away, take her phone away, take her laptop away, so that she couldn't communicate or do anything. And that he insisted that she be the one to actually book these male escorts.
Imagine
so
being
on
a
all of the
bodyguard
transactions, it's her credit
Sean
card,
Diddy
it's her,
Combs, and you see all this horrific
her
stuff.
name. She's the one that's actually
And he
booking
tells
this.
you to
But another
take her
key
phone
piece
away.
of the case kind of emerged today of how the prosecution is going to weave this story of racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation across state lines for prostitution. They're basically laying the groundwork for this sweeping RICO case that if Combs is found guilty, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. He's currently 55 years old. And then what is happening was, she said that his three bodyguards, there were 3 or 4 main bodyguards that were always with him, driving her, that would do whatever he wanted them to do. She testified about how one time he put a gun in her purse because they were going into downtown LA for an event that she was hosting, and she felt very nervous about that. She testified about these bodyguards basically doing whatever he asked them to do. And then also there were these assistants. One assistant, she said, would take care of the money, would give her money, and that by a certain period of time, after that first year with him, he was controlling, he or his business, his employees of Bad Boy Worldwide were actually controlling every single aspect of her life. So I have to give her credit for maintaining her composure throughout, because she's looking across that courtroom. Combs is feet away from her at the table with the defense. His 6 oldest kids, not Baby Love, because Baby Love's too little, but his 6 oldest kids are there in the courtroom. His mother is in the courtroom. There's some Combs supporters who are there. A lot of media from all over the world. She maintained her composure. She maintained her dignity, but she stayed very factual and almost in some cases matter of fact, describing how these things were going. And she said he really had a thing for baby oil. At one point, he had a pop-up pool, like a little pop-up kiddie pool set up in one of the hotels, and had it filled with baby oil, which he wanted her to go into in her heels and in her clothes, which is just unthinkable, some of these things that were going on. But the abuse, the degradation, putting body fluids in her mouth and that type of thing, him and the male escort on various occasions. And she said she reached a certain point where she felt really, really worthless. And that was just so very sad, because you got a sense of just
like she
this
wanted
extreme
to do
fatigue.
this
she
stuff,
must have felt, this powerlessness, and just this tremendous
4 years old grooming a 19-year-old
just almost prison,
girl.
And it's ironic because at the time that they were together, you know, when they emerged as a public
Holding her
couple, it looked
career
very glamorous. She's
over
a
her head.
stunningly gorgeous woman. He was always dressed to the nines and had all kinds of jewelry. We'd see them on red carpets. We'd see them at these A-list events. And then behind closed doors, it was basically a living hell for her and a real nightmare. But that's the latest here. The family just left the courtroom a short time ago, so the media crowd here is pretty much thinned out. I have a couple more assignments I have to do for Fox 5 News here in New York, which you can watch anywhere in the United States on the Fox local New York.
Great.
Had to go into like rubbing baby oil. Then it had to go into sloppy toppy. It always had to go this way. And Diddy would get mad and punish her if it didn't. Then it had to go into glowing stuff. And she said this could last hours. Then the duck butter, the man milk, he would make go on the chest or inside, and then she had to take it off of her or out of her and rub it on his chest and his tatas, his nipple. Yeah, I know. Ex-wife. Oh my God, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And you guys, that's what Kiss from a Smooch and people were trying to tell me. Double tap the screen to like this live. Also, Honeybee Therapy, thank you so much for the super chat. And Potato Gun Camper, woo, said relax, Tisa, you look amazing. Ice cream thing, oh, thank you. Alberta Daniels, thank you so much for joining the Tattletales. Mafia Man said Diddy's next calling is party planning. He got those ideas. He do got those ideas. Granted, they from the 10th level of hell. But if he used his powers for good, he'd probably be the best party planner in the world. Harlem, New York, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, I want to give a shout out to, Money W. Thank you for being a member for 12 months. You said, hey, Tisa, hey. What's up, girl? And also, Jen Owens said, thanks for doing the big one, Val. You're welcome. Alberta, oh my God, Alberta.
Testified that he would usually hand cash, which she gave to Cassie, that she gave to the escorts. There was a moment where Cassie said she questioned legality of them. There was an objection, and the judge struck the comment. I've been wondering that too. Like, again, you shouldn't be paying for it. That's not legal here, at least in New York and some of these places he's doing it.
Yeah, like this is what I'm saying. It's like, do we need to even go any further if money was involved?
What the debate is. The prosecution asked about...
like, we already have people full on saying that they've exchanged cash for you know what. So is that not it?
It's depressing. So that's how she had to get through it, by just hopping up on stuff. She told the jury that Sean and his staff provided her with substances of all sorts.
Disassociate and become emotionless. That is a big, big thing here. The dissociation. I see the defense was trying to talk about bipolar disorder, I believe. But yeah, I feel like that stuff, the DID, the dissociation is going to come up a lot, and that's part of the practice with these people if we want to get really deep into the rabbit hole beyond what these popcorn heads are talking about.
It was awkward and pretty humiliating to talk to Combs about, these workers' units, but he expected it. We had to, I guess, inspect and talk about their bodies before each one started. That is super weird.
And then there was
so they're
this drop.
Sitting there like, what do you think of his unit, Cassie? And this guy's like, that's, I know you'd say you're dissociated from it all, but that's just weird, is it not? Emily, what do you think?
No, I want to hear what Kim has to. I'm not answering that.
Kim, what do you think?
You know what? That's their thing. To me,
Are you
it was
gonna
the
judge?
next
Can we
point.
get you to
No.
finally judge him
No,
on?
it was the next point. It was the next point.
Oh, okay, yes.
That I was like, I'm done.
Yes,
I'm
this is the
done.
point we
I've got
are.
nothing.
Basically, the workers would climax and put
Yeah.
that substance
I left the courtroom when I heard this.
on Diddy's nubs. I'll say it. We'll say Nubgate. Welcome to the Nub Club. It puts a whole new point on our Nub Club.
That's insane.
Diddy's
I
nubs.
hate the Nub Club.
I don't know if you want to put nubs in the chat. Let's see how messed up you are, but you can throw the nubs. Diddy nubs. Yikes. I'm going to shame him for that. That's really weird. That's really weird that he wants the other man's stuff all over his
Pretty weird.
nubs.
There's a lot of weird things happening.
Yeah, like, this is not normal, you guys. So don't be afraid to shame. Because this is not just preferences, people having fun. This is abuse, blackmail. Yeah. Could go on and on. It's not just this BS.
Live the rest of our lives not knowing that he had that substance on his nubs. We could have.
Yes, I won't decide on the nubs. Those are not our nubs. I do not define those nubs.
There's something we missed, and I don't know if maybe I just wasn't hearing you say it, but the baby oil was required to be heated up. It had to have the baby oil needed to be heated.
I did not see that at all in reporting today.
Okay, then
not
when we get off this
Exclusive.
call, I'm going to be making a video because that was really weird. She said that the temperatures of the rooms of the freak-offs, the room had to be a high temperature. But not only that, the baby oil had to be put in the sink, and it was heated up in the sink, and that was something that she would have to do.
I don't remember that being reported. It may have been, and I missed it, but that is news to me.
Well, you know when there's nubs and all these other things.
Wow.
Tisa, you're welcome. Thank you, Elisa. So remember that video I uploaded about I found Diddy's freak-off agency? And when I did it, y'all know I love saying I told you so. When I did it, all my favorite haters on YouTube was like, Tisa lies, she just be making up stuff. I did my investigation. Shut up. Your investigation is why your follower count looked the way it does, right? And anyway, let me stop, because every time I shade somebody in a live, I'm talking to one specific person, and 50 people will come forward and say that I got beef with them. So I take that back, because I guarantee you who the person I'm talking to don't watch my channel, right? But anyway, Cassie confirmed on the Sam. Summer Sam, thank you so much for the super chat. And let's celebrate your first super on my live stream. Cassie confirmed, yesterday the prosecution confirmed, and today Cassie confirmed on the stand that the freak-off agency that she used was Cowboys and Angels, because you can use it in every single major city. You guys, 2 years ago, I did a video about Cowboys and Angels titled, I found Cassie and Diddy's freak-off agency.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Mel NYC Reviews.
Is this on YouTube,
Teacher's
Tisa?
working harder than Ally McBeal. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna re-upload that video because it has the pictures of the freak-off people they use, their preferred this.
Yes,
it has
re-upload.
the contact info. It's actually a really, really funny video. I'm gonna re-upload that. But you guys, when I say we have been vindicated, and can I say our research was on point 100% of the time, baby, we did it. We did the big thing. Woo. Anyway, you guys, listen, I want to hey, what's up, KKK Scorpio? Said thank you for your dedication.
With all of these horrific things going on, she says, I was young and naive, and I loved him, and I wanted to make him happy. That's the latest here from federal court. Back to you in the studio.
If I just have 2 rounds, my body may be physically damaged. Like 4 days of a woman having that much sex, like that's crazy. It's like, I don't understand how Bonnie's having sex, going on tour, having those gangbangs. So I don't know if I can say that.
Wow.
Sorry,
I don't think you can, but I think that's out the window at this point.
We might be lost it. Oh, I see Natalia's joining too. Hold on, I'm gonna get her in for a few.
The fact that Cassie had to endure so much physical pain during the intercourse for that, like I think that's the worst part of it all, like besides the
Re-upload it, and I'll do a little intro, and I'll re-upload it so y'all can have fun with that. And I will see y'all later on live. All right? Thank y'all so
Bye,
much for the
Tisa.
love, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
Big thing for me as I was looking through these notes at the end and trying to just compile them is it really does feel like they are trying to paint this picture that he is an absolute control freak. He has to have everything the way that he wants it. Everybody does it on his schedule, and you stay in line. You do what you're told. It doesn't matter how humiliating, how dangerous, how awful. You just do it. And I really do feel like that might be part of why they're laying this foundation. It all sounds very salacious, but you have to believe that this type of a person has this type of influence and power over people to get them to do this crazy stuff, for them to carry out these illegal acts on his behalf. And that he is like this puppet master of everything. Mm-hmm. And that was the big vibe that I got at the end of today. I think that is where, just my own personal opinion, I think that's where the prosecution is going with this.
I think you're onto something because they keep saying that he liked to be treated like a king. He felt like invincible. He was the king. He liked to pull the strings. And that if you said no, he would just be like, well, I can replace you.
Yeah. 100%. And he put
we
people
are
in
going
his
to
contracts
keep
that
your
he
questions
controlled
coming for
people.
Emily, who's there. And Tanya is joining. We're going to have her pop in for a minute. We'll stay for a little bit longer, guys. But if you have questions you want me to get to, I'm going to go through them in a second, and we'll trim this portion. But we got an hour in, Kim, so we're good on our recap. But sorry, you were saying something.
No, I was just, my main point is just that I think right now they're trying to get people to understand the way that he works with people, how he manipulates people, and why that is so powerful. Because if they're going to get into potentially a whole, you know, racketeering thing, you've got to believe that he has that kind of power over people. And I mean, you got to think about it. Some of the things that she's been asked to do here are just absolutely horrific. And I think the average person would go, and I'm out. I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. But for her, she felt this need to stay. And she was not the only person. She was not the only woman. And you had all these people that were doing very illegal things.
If everybody around you is enabling abuse to take place, how are you supposed to leave?
Security guards.
I can't, like, hopefully this girl has something smart to say here because, holy.
You know what? I have to train myself to stop saying I'm wonderful because the past few days I've really been quite emotional. It has been unbelievably, honestly. But I'm in such autopilot. I always say, "Oh, I'm great," and I had to really deal with myself on that.
Well, for those who aren't familiar with the dopest nerd, Natanya, legitimately a survivor of Diddy. The incident in the club back in the 90s, she was shot by Diddy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Oh my God, I wrote a story about you.
Yeah, she's legit.
Wow.
Holy.
She's here. She is
Wake up.
one of the biggest voices against Diddy all these years. Has stood up proudly. I'm so impressed and inspired by her.
Yeah,
Not
I
afraid anymore of all this.
I have the chills. I can't believe it's you.
No, Andy, I'm going to say, I think on
given
behalf
all
of
of
the both
that,
of us, I'm going to say, I think on behalf of the both of us, Natanya, I think you are one of the most amazing people we have met through this channel.
So kind. I can't behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, guys. She really is the real deal. But exactly, but enough hyping you up.
Yeah, can we listen to her talk?
You must feel a little bit of just peace knowing that it's finally coming to a head. What are your thoughts? I know you're saying it's tough, but Cassie, my gosh, the bravery of Cassie right on this stand today, while pregnant, telling the truth, as Emily was saying, confidently, credibly. How are you feeling about all this?
So first and foremost, thank you guys for saying that. I appreciate that, guys. It's been a long, arduous journey. I am super proud of Cassie. I am super proud. First of all, I have pushed 3 babies out of my womb. When you're at the end of your 3rd trimester, you don't want to be asked a bunch of questions by anybody, much less, in a courtroom under this type of light. It has to be grueling for her, especially with your husband in the courtroom. You've moved on, you've started a new life, you have amazing husband, amazing children, and then to have to revisit this while you have your 3rd child in utero, grace has to be.
Wayfair presents bedroom furniture. Find your
great.
It's even bigger than just her. It's the totality of everything he's done all these years. God empowered this woman at a time such as this to cry aloud and spare not. And boy, oh boy, am I proud of her.
So this, I agree. Well said. You always say it so beautifully. Yeah. There was a concern. I want to get to it because while you're here, there's a concern, as Emily pointed out, and I think she's right. There's a lot of talk about, oh, he's a pervert. Oh, he's gross. Oh, he's done all these things. The problem is a lot of these things are illegal, right? We're not here to put him in jail because of the DV against Cassie's. I wish we were, but we're not, right? Do you share any of that worry yet? Have you been paying attention? Are you seeing some of this?
Again,
what are your thoughts on?
We're talking about the DV.
There are a lot of people in comments and lawyers.
We have people
saying,
full on saying that they've already exchanged money for you know what.
What do you think's happening?
So here's the deal. I think it's because people's ears are not trained to the law.
Right.
They already got to the crimes by virtue of the fact that she came into contact with him under the auspices of having a record deal. he converted that professional relationship to his desire. She then went on to serve his desire. She said over and over, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. A 10-album deal. I told you, I'm a singer. A 10-album deal is lifetime captivity.
Yes.
How could you ever do the 10 albums, make good on it, pay the record company back?
Right. And that's what they do to people.
Excuse me, everything that they're laying out, they understand what they're doing.
Without the sex, they're doing this stuff without the relationships.
The fact that she was his
so
boss.
imagine that.
Quid pro quo. You cannot have a relationship with someone who is subordinate to you. He held the power dynamic, he held the age difference, and he was responsible for her career. So this is not just a DV situation. It's people whose ears are only trained to the salaciousness and not to the minutia. The fact that all of this happened under the auspices of her having a 10-album deal.
Finally,
no matter
smart person
what
enters the chat.
She was his property. If I got a 10-album deal in 2006 and I've only put out one album, you never intended to let me go. That is a form of kidnapping. It is captivity. You held the power dynamic to either decide whether I went on and became a big star or was at your beck and call to serve your pleasure. Neither one was legal. If you had a 10-album deal and he didn't fulfill the requirements of the other 9 albums, you are still in violation of what you should have done with this young lady, not the least of which is you then groomed her into a schmexual relationship outside of the confines of your legal contract with her, neither which you didn't even complete the legal contract. So trust me, while it might sound like people who are untrained to the law are saying, oh, it sounds like a DV thing. No.
Yeah, not even
We've already
close.
Discussed financial transactions within the confines of intimate relations, which is a violation of the law in the state of New York and everywhere in the United States.
There's
a lot of things that are being said here. I might be hyper fixating on it because this case connects to my life in such a way. Like, look at the point where she said he made her carry the pew-pews mid-off.
Yep.
Put the pew-pews in her... Where have I heard that before? Oh, I'm only the beneficiary of a 9mm hollow point bullet to my face because he did that with somebody else 25 years ago.
Allegedly, J-Lo, I'll say it.
I mean, I said earlier, I can't believe you're here. I said, were they trying to draw a parallel to that night? And then I was going to go find
the
my
Shine
article
incident.
About you because I don't think it's right how that other guy got blamed. And then now he's overseas.
Well, no. Don't think the other guy got blamed. Shine, Jamal, Moses, Michael Levy,
he was a part of it.
He's no victim.
Oh my
that guy shot Julius Jones in the shoulder. There is
get this girl out of here.
Shot, which I have screamed from the rooftop for the last 25 years as well. But society has selective
fear. Exactly. Society has this selective fear. Yeah, because you don't pay attention. You need to do more research, girl. This girl's at the courtroom.
If Tanya Rubin was on, no self-aggrandizing. But trust me, if I was on that stand, case will be done in a week.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I do believe it.
It's that straightforward. A lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of bullshit, a lot of freaking public NPCs that are just focusing on things that are not important.
Why? But legitimately, what's the how is it relevant?
Listen to the people that know. There's a lot of people that have talked about this for years.
Relevant because it shows a pattern of abuse.
Because the gun is being handed off to the woman.
But if he was mid freak off and he jumped up at the behest of his security guy, and not the security guy went and got weapons, he went and got the weapons. Made her put it in her purse, and they jetted out to go to this location, Mel's Diner. Kiss My Couscous. Vintage for if anybody's older than, 40, they'll understand what that's from. But if he's doing this mid-sensual moment, or whatever you want to call this moment, then why would he not do it on a random Christmas or after Christmas night going into a nightclub? It shows his propensity for violence, and it shows a continuation of a behavior. That is the definition of the RICO. It shows a pattern of behavior.
Him handing the gun off to Cassie today, I didn't understand why that was relevant. And then I thought about the J-Lo was handed the gun and no one knew why
Listen.
J-Lo was handed the gun.
Again,
Oh my gosh, girl.
J-Lo
I'm also
was
going
no
to say,
victim.
Emily,
But again, what I will say, I feel like this is all illustrating.
everyone needs to listen to the Kim Porter
the
book.
madness of having an individual
J-Lo's
who's
been in,
running an
bro.
NFO, then gets a call that his nemesis is at a diner, and he's got to go and see him. So everybody stops. All covered in baby oil and heaven knows what else on, I don't even know. Like, take your pick, take your guess. They all go, bring the arms, and go see Knight. Suge Knight.
Yeah, and here's
you
the deal.
couldn't pay me to go there. You couldn't pay me to get in that car. You couldn't.
But here's the deal.
You don't understand the dynamic then.
100%.
Here's the
You don't
irony.
understand. It's
For
not just
all
about
these
having.
years, Puffy was so diabolical that he was able, through shiny suits and jumping around dancing, able to orchestrate everyone's belief that Suge Knight was the nefarious one and he was the good guy, when it was the other way around the whole time. You have to be a master magician to pull that off. We all thought Suge Knight was this horrific person. Then we find out years later, Suge Knight was on the outs with people because he wanted to create a union for artists. And he and a couple other artists were getting together to create a company, to merge and create a company where artists got medical benefits.
And he's been
and,
sitting in jail.
You know, all types of stuff. Meanwhile, this one is over here doing everything under the sun. Like, the wool has been pulled over our eyes for quite a number of years. People have to really admit we have been, not me, but the world has been bamboozled.
Not me either, girl.
Until Tanya came to this podcast, I thought I was quid to the law, but now I'm like, I didn't pick up on anything.
No, you didn't.
They're showing a pattern of abuse, and that falls under the statute of the RICO. You have to show a continuing pattern of abuse.
Well, not
these
but
people.
I
I get
love
slapped
to
with a
challenge, but,
RICO
like,
and they're sitting here talking
to
about
challenge
TV.
that, if they bring you in, then Shine technically took the fall. They got to redo
Shine
the
did
whole
not
case.
take the fall,
but you got
Andy.
I know, but I'm just saying the
Everyone
prosecution.
knows
The prosecution has to tell the
Julius
jury
Jones.
all of this, right?
But listen,
and while I know what
Shine-
your real reality is, it's a lot of time to be like, well, no, like it would.
No,
or don't you?
no.
They could get into the weeds, no?
No,
And they have limited
no.
time.
Not at all. It's very concise. They have done a masterful job of filling the lexicon in the social media sphere that Shine took the fall. Shine went to jail for shooting Julius Jones. Julius
Why
Jones
do you
was
think
shot
he
in
came
the
out and
shoulder
got
by
all his
Shine.
benefits?
I was shot in the face by
Hey?
Puffy. It is very easy
What is he,
to
leading
explain.
Belize
legally,
now?
What happened legally, like on the record? When
What
What
are all
happened
those
legally
flights
on the
to
record was
Belize?
the
What are
same
those
way
about?
People were concerned with him being able to pay off everybody on the witness list, and they cited my case, which is why they did not give the witness list until April 18th. They cited my case in their documents because they understood back then, when his attorneys were granted the witness list up front, every single witness disappeared. Almost every witness. Did you hear what his attorney said at the beginning of this, before this trial completely started, but while they were in the courtroom? His attorney said they were discussing having me testify, and his attorney said, there's only one living witness left from 1999.
Yeah.
What? First of all, y'all weren't the attorneys of that case. Why would you know such a thing? Why would, if you're
Right.
fighting for this man's life, why would you waste a moment to see who was witnesses for 25 years ago? Why would you be privy to this information? And first of all, that's a lie. There's not just one living witness. I'm here. Julius Jones is here. Lots of people are here.
Wow.
But why would that be information that you tell? This is what they told the U.S. Attorney's Office. There was only one surviving witness. That's a whole lie. Why would you be privy to that information? How would these current attorneys know who was alive from 25 years ago? And why
Also,
would you be interested in that information? Could it be because they paid everybody off or picked everybody off?
Yeah, I agree. And sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. We're not trying to interrupt anybody. It's
No, you're fine.
some delays. We're all trying to talk. My God, everybody, calm the hell down. Tanya is the queen. She can talk over me anytime she wants. No, but I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just.
You kind of did, though.
I'm
You
just
kind of
trying to
did
ask, 'cause again,
interrupt.
I'm ignorant. I'll admit it.
You
right?
guys are.
And
All
many
three of
ignorant,
you
the
are.
jury's
You're not
ignorant.
even
That's why I was
listening
asking
to
those
her.
questions to you, because it's like they're gonna just say, "Well, that's what." But you sold me. I get it. I hear what you're saying, and that's yeah, it's a good. Let's do a video tomorrow with Natanya if you have time.
Natanya
Let's
needs
bring
more
J-Lo
airtime.
back into it, Kim, and ask that question. That is a solid connection. Go ahead, Emily. You had a question.
Oh my gosh.
I just think Natanya, like right now, I'm like, well, what's the point of me living? Like, I was talking to so many lawyers today. I was talking to NBC reporters, ABC News. They all felt what me and Andy felt, and then Natanya comes
You're
on.
talking to
and,
CNN.
like, I forgot.
You're talking to
all of
mainstream
that,
media.
and it blew my mind. So I'm
That's
like,
the
we
problem.
need more of Natanya because the
Right.
public right now, even the people that are deemed the smartest people
Listen
in the
to the
courtroom,
people that were
they don't
there.
really understand what you just said. They're all saying,
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of people that were there. A lot of people have been talking about this for years. For years. Literally. Holy.
The studio.
Is on the team, and a lot of stuff is going to fall by the wayside because there's no one in the room that can say, oh no, that means blah blah blah.
Right.
Oh, no, that means blah blah blah. And that is a deficit for them. That is a major deficit.
I agree.
If nothing else, they need at least a Black woman consultant on that, the U.S. Attorney's team to say, don't sleep on that. This means such and such. Just like they have this guy.
Get these white people out of here with their opinions.
The
Donaldson?
Cruz, the former president of Bad Boy. And they're going to bring him. Supposedly he's supposed to testify on Cassie's behalf. I don't trust him.
Really?
This guy is a puffy loyalist. He is a puffy loyalist. There was speculation back in the days that they had a little something going on. I don't trust him.
They need you up.
He's publicly said, "There's sometimes you got to do good and sometimes you got to do bad." That's what this guy's known for saying that.
Wait, which guy is this?
They're bringing him. They're going to be bringing him in.
Yeah, I know. I don't trust him.
Oh man.
I feel like
he could be manipulating that 6-pack of white women, and they think he's going to come in and he's going to say something that's going to kill the whole case.
Bam, Emily. There you go. I think he's coming in under the auspices of, I'm going to testify for the U.S. attorneys. And when he gets on the stand, he's going to flip it and do something to tank the case. I don't trust him.
Wow.
Really don't trust him.
Thank God Natanya came on.
I mean, they need
people were
to keep
asking,
these things in mind.
She does have a YouTube channel. You can head over to the Dopest Nerd and subscribe.
Subscribe, guys. I'm trying to make it to 10K. I don't know why.
Let's get her to 10K.
We can do it. We can do it.
I hope to have you on as often as you're willing to come talk to us
Always.
through these days
I love
because
coming over here.
And thank you for that. I mean, there's a lot to go through. You made a good point. I'm still worried. I'm still worried for a lot of these reasons. Go ahead, Kim.
Something I'm just going to say really quickly. Literally, if 1 in 6 of you in this chat subscribe to Natanya, she's at 10K.
We could see her there right now.
Do it.
I just put it in the description. Go do it.
Let's do it.
Especially now is the time. If any time to subscribe is now. This person is who you want to be subscribed to during this trial.
100%.
Also, while we're
100%.
plugging, go subscribe and follow Emily's Substack. You can follow her over on Instagram. Emily knows everything.
I'm trying to hit 10K too on Substack.
Let's get it over there. You can subscribe free. You can pay is the ideal.
Is loving baby oil a federal crime? I hate that they're
Andy, I am gonna
posting articles like
I'm gonna
that.
Be doing my show after you tonight.
Yes. So why don't you go prep? I was just about to plug, but you know what? We're just going to send you all over there right after.
Okay. This crazy. Yeah, this is definitely just the tip of the iceberg.